Hello, fellow fish reefers. You're looking at Hexagrammos decagrammos, the kelp greenling, one of the most beautiful fish in all of California. It specializes in mature, healthy kelp forests. There was a giant kelp forest here off of Goleta until 1983, and it got torn out by massive El Nino swells. And so the Fish Reef Project has placed these 16 sea caves on the seafloor. After 10 years of permitting and huge struggles to get them down there, it's worth it. You can see the result right in front of your very eyes. Laminaria digitata, that's the small understory brown algae you see mixed in with the giant kelp, the Macrocystis pyrophora, punctuated by juvenile rockfish such as this yellowtail rockfish you see right in front of you. Here we are going between the sea caves. They're so covered in marine algae that you can barely make them out, which is exactly what the design intended. That after about a year underwater, that these look like nature put them there. That makes them a true biogenic reefing system. The brown algae removes tons and tons of carbon dioxide directly from the ocean, which is the repository for over 90% of all of mankind's carbon dioxide. Looking skyward. Now, Goleta is a tough place to dive. You have to dive it right at the top of the high tide to get any visibility because there's a lot of sediment on the seafloor that moves around. But that doesn't stop the kelp from growing. It's placed in the perfect northwest facing position. That's why fish like this small Sebastes miniatus or vermilion rockfish love to thrive there. We see them every single time we dive. There's been a number of very large swell events that have moved through here, up to 12 feet high, and the sea caves have not sunk or moved. Those are little shiner surf perch, which the halibut that lay around the sea caves love to gobble down as they ambush them. The halibut lie in wait next to the structure, and then they wait for the unsuspecting fish to come out, and they have their dinner. These are the stipes of the giant kelp. A good giant kelp plant, as they call it, has up to 200 of those individual stipes and goes all the way to the surface 40 feet above to make a beautiful kelp canopy, which is the center of the marine ecosystem. When you have kelp, you have mating activity, you have spawning activity, you have feeding activity. Now this is another kelp rockfish. So now we have a kelp greenling and two kelp rockfish. That is their actual name. Now here is some more vermilion rockfish. I think there's 3 or 4. Clearly using the sea caves as shelter. They were probably born on the reef. And for the entire inner area inside of 50 feet of water, it's mostly sand and mud. So when you place this critical structure, it creates an exponential breeding ground for the rockfish to grow large and then move out into deep water after they get to large breeding size. There's a big holdfast. It's almost a meter across, really exceeding expectations, and then another shot of all the beautiful perch looking skyward. I'd like to thank everybody for helping ocean life thrive, and your continued support allows us to recover and restore our historic kelp forests in ever increasing numbers, and it's just an amazing legacy that we're all leaving for future generations.